Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So it was just confirmed that we're going to be seeing new Justice League footage really soon. They didn't say exactly which day, but there are a couple solid bets just because Fantastic Beasts, another big Warner Brothers franchise, which is going to get like 5 movies, is coming out this weekend. And Ben Affleck has a big movie coming out this December during Christmas weekend. So I'll explain that and talk about the death of Superman, because we are 1 year away from Justice League coming out. It's coming out November 17th, so like literally this day next year, which is also coinciding with the 25th anniversary of the death of Superman in comics. What a coincidence. So Justice League footage, here's what we know. Fantastic Beasts is being released this weekend, so if we do not see a new Justice League trailer tomorrow or in the next couple of days, like next Tuesday, then I would plan for it to drop with Ben Affleck's movie at the end of the year. That movie is called Live by Night. He just plays this really badass gangster. It's set during Prohibition era. It stars Zoe Saldana, who's Gamora. So that's being released like literally on Christmas Day, December 25th. So a lot of you will remember that there was a rumor earlier this year that we were going to get a whole bunch of trailers on a bunch of days in the next couple of months. So one of those was the Justice League trailer. It was supposed to drop around that December 25th date. So my bet is that they're attaching some Justice League Batman footage to another Batman-related film, so to speak. But one of the cool things that's different now about the way studios drop trailers than, say, even like a couple years ago, is that they'll drop like a really quick teaser or a picture, or they have a social media account that'll just start posting weird stuff that will lead up to them dropping footage. So like way back in the day, all they would do is just like drop the one trailer and that's it. They wouldn't do anything else. But now, because of like all the different social media platforms, you'll start to see like weird stuff happen on their accounts before they actually do something really big. So it'll actually be a little bit easier to know when it's gonna drop, when we get within like a week of it. So because we still haven't seen a whole lot about it, I'm just planning for that Christmas weekend. And we're still like a long ways off from hearing about the Batman movie. But I know a lot of you are asking about the rumor that the script was trash. Like there was like somebody in Hollywood who was saying that there was a lot of problems with the Batman script, and the studio supposedly didn't care about it because they knew they would make so much money on it internationally. And the reason that I didn't do a video for that is just like I literally waited a day to do a video for it just to explain what was going on. And the person who was trashing the script came out and profusely apologized, probably because he was worried that Ben Affleck would come to his house and punch him in the face, or that the studio would never work with him again. Because the person was Bret Easton Ellis, who's actually been directing like one of the YouTube Red original series. So that gives you an idea for like his current status in Hollywood. He's directing YouTubers, so he's not someone inside the Warner Brothers circle of trust. He's not inside the Batman circle, so he hasn't read the script. And he was really just reporting some gossip that he heard secondhand from another person who was also probably not in the know. So the whole thing was just a bunch of garbage. Don't worry about it. The Batman movie is fine. I think that's part of the reason why we haven't seen Geoff Johns be more active on social. Like every once in a while he'll post something, but he's actually been pretty quiet this past year. But mostly I think that's because he and his wife had a baby, and because he's now in charge of all these DC films, meaning that he probably never sleeps. But supposedly, like this new Justice League footage, the stuff that's going to be different from previous Justice League trailers is that it'll just feature a whole lot more Aquaman, because everybody behind the scenes is saying that Jason Momoa is just killing it, which sounds about right, especially from the stuff that we've seen so far. Like he looks like he's having more fun than anybody else on that film set. So whatever ends up happening, I will totally do a video the minute we find out exactly when we're getting new footage and what's going to be in it. So in related news, you probably know that they're doing a live-action Justice League Dark film. Guillermo del Toro was originally going to do the whole thing himself. Now he's still on as a producer, but they did just release a new trailer for the animated Justice League Dark, which stars Matt Ryan as Constantine, and Batman's in it. So I'll just play that trailer here, and then I'll talk a little bit about what's going on with that.
everywhere!
These crimes were committed by law-abiding citizens.
They all have seen nightmare visions beforehand. The same pattern is repeating around the world, so there could be an overriding paranormal element.
Are you talking about magic? Then we have to find John Constantine.
There!
Into the house! Come on, it's a dream team. You, me, Zatanna, Batman, maybe even a Justice League.
Let's take a walk on the dark side then.
Swamp Thing!
You dare threaten the Green.
Draga Malefic. Draga Malefic.
Let's do this.
Fuck it off.
Your life is a patchwork of blackness with no time for joy. How do you cope with it?
I have a butler.
So as you guys can see, Jason O'Mara, who's currently on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., is doing Batman. Matt Ryan is doing Constantine, which I thought was really cool when we found out about that back during Comic-Con. But if you're not familiar with Justice League Dark, it's basically like a Justice League team-up based of the magic characters in the DC universe. They did like a big New 52 title. Now they're kind of spinning it into a live-action thing. But they have this cool movie coming too. So the animated team in this movie is Constantine, Batman, Zatanna, Etrigan the Demon, Superman, and Wonder Woman are also in it, but obviously they're not part of Justice League Dark. They're part of the regular Justice League team, just like Batman. Richie Simpson, who is a Hellblazer character, he kind of comes with Constantine. Felix Faust, who's one of the villains of Justice League Dark. Then Destiny, who's actually being played by Alfred Molina. He's actually a character from the Sandman comics, Neil Gaiman's Sandman. And then Swamp Thing, who's like one of the weirdest, coolest characters that I've always been hoping that they'd work into the live-action universe eventually. But he was a big part of that in the comics. And then Black Orchid. So it's just like a really weird cast of characters and a really fun storyline that'll kind of get you prepped for live-action Justice League Dark in a couple years. But that's a little further off. So once we get through the live-action regular Justice League movie, we'll probably hear more about that. So the regular movies, I think Warner Brothers just wants people to focus on the current Justice League roster. Then they'll weave in more magic-based weird stuff with Justice League Dark. But this movie, the animated movie, is coming out January 24th on video on demand, and then the DVD is dropping February 7th. So let me know what you guys think about live-action Justice League and live-action Justice League Dark. Do you think they'll actually end up doing it, or do you think it'll just get postponed indefinitely? Because they've been talking about doing a Justice League Dark movie for a long time now. Like Guillermo del Toro worked his ass off for like the last 10 years to try and get something going. But either way, New Legends of Tomorrow, posting tonight. There is a DC giveaway that's going on. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video, so I'll post that video after the episode airs tonight. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here for like the big behind the scenes Justice League trailer, and you can click here for the trailer for the big Fortnite TV crossover. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.